Hello everyone. So today we are going to discuss the iterators in DAX as a second step for learning the DAX, because last time we have seen the aggregation function which apply on the table level. In this video we are going to discuss the iterators. They normally call iterators because they apply the operation on each row level, and then you're gonna see the aggregation as a collection of the contribution coming from each row. That's why they call iterators, because they iterate on each row in the data set, right? But then beside that, we have another great feature with these iterators, that it allows you to filter, because obviously if the data set is quite large, you can imagine that it's going to impact on the performance. So in that case, it will allow you to filter the data set based on the criteria that you want to provide, and then it address those criteria and during the iteration, and only use those which are those rows which are addressing the filter criteria. And like you can see on your screen, the indicator of these function that always end with X. So for example, if we have the aggregation function as sum, so the iterator function is gonna be the sum X, right? And the same way we have the average X, and we have the min X, and then we have the max X, right? So we're gonna see how it works in the Power BI. So let's jump into the demo and see the implementation. Let me share my screen. I'm just going to go back into my demo environment. So what we are going to do now, let's first look at the total same amount, which is very simple. Like you can see what we are trying to do in here. We are multiplying the order quantity with the unit price, because we want to see the sum, that okay, how much total sale amount we are getting. And obviously the sale amount is always the multiplication of the total number of items which the client has ordered, multiplied by the unit price, right? So because that multiplication will give us the sale amount of each item, and if we sum them up, that will give us the total sum. Right now, one of the difference in here in the SUMX, that before we need to add the total amount, we need to multiply the order quantity by the unit price, right? And it should happen on each row level. That's where the iteration concept comes into the picture, that it goes each and every row, it multiply the quantity with the unit, and at the end it will just add them up. So that's the whole concept. And like I mentioned, you can open the window, and let me see if I can increase. Yeah, we can increase the size, so you can see it's pretty simple. The function is almost the same. The only difference is going to have X at the end, and then obviously it asks you the table name, right? So the syntax is going to be I think I need to, sorry, we have, as soon as you enter, it compiles it. So I might need to, yeah, that's a better one. All right, and let me see if I can. I don't think so. How about this? I always forget which one is that the one? No, I don't think so. Anyway, I'm just gonna show you the syntax in the simple term. Just let me open Notepad. So obviously it's the measure. So the syntax will be measure is going to be whatever the function name, iterator. And that will require the table name first. I'm just putting a generic table name, and then we need to provide obviously the expression. So that's the the simple syntax. So you can see in if we just map the actual one on this syntax. So we obviously total sale name is the Meyer name, and then we are using SUMX, and then obviously we have the sales depth TBL reseller sales. We have already seen it. If you don't understand, please watch the data model video where I have explained the whole concept. And then what we are going to, in the expression, we are multiplying two attribute of that table, which is obviously order quantity and the unit sale, sorry, unit price, right? So these will be multiplied, these two fields will be multiplied, and whatever is going to be the result at each row, at the end, that's going to be sum up and will show, will return into this Meyer, right? So that's how we use the iterators. Now, let me just put it back, and I'm just going to show it to you. Let me just take both out, right? So what I'm going to, I think that's the one. Yeah, total sale amount. So you're gonna see we have 81 million, right? So that's the total amount. By the way, you can see the similar amount in here. The only difference is here it is coming without rounding, but in here you can see the values coming as a round. Just in case if you want to display the decimal point, so what we can do, we have the data label and we can open it up, and then we can see the values. Yeah, and we are going to display, so you can see the decimal value, decimal places is auto. We are going to increase it to 2 digits, right? So as soon as we have increased it, you can see 80.98. Now up to this point, 80.9, the first digit is matching 100%, but the next one is at 9.8, because 7.8 has been rounded to the second digit, is going to be 80.98. So that's the concept, right? So that's how we use the iterator. All right. So now coming to the next one, which is obviously, let me just click and I want to show it to you. This one, right here. How we apply the filter, right? So for example, if my table is quite big and I don't want to, I don't want to apply my iterator on each row. So then we have the capability that we can, apply the filter first, and then we apply the function. So now the syntax will be, yeah, I think that's better. Let me just show you now the syntax. So now if I just, go and, just apply that function. So now the syntax will be filtered. And then obviously we have the filter condition, right? Because without that, there is no point of applying filter, right? So that will be the syntax if we want to use the iterator with the filter criteria, right? So you can easily see now it's pretty simple. So we just need to now, instead of just specifying the table name, we first need to specify the filter clause, because we are going to filter, and then we are going to apply the filter condition. So now coming back to our actual example, in now what we are going to do, in the previous one we haven't actually looked at the quantity, but now we are only calculating the sum of those order where the quantity is greater than one, where person has ordered multiple items, right? So these are different sort of analysis we can see, that we want to see, okay, well, how much sale we are getting from the multi-item sales, or how much we are getting from the single item sale. That's where we find out the trend, and then we start improving that. If person is only ordering one item, is there any particular reason why he's not ordering multiple items? Because that if we encourage these people who are ordering one item to multiple item, you can see it's going to boost the sale, right? So let's see if we if we want to see how what's the total sale, if we just get the amount where the order quantity is greater than one, right, which obviously shows that the person has ordered multiple items. So you can see in here we have added the filter criteria. So you one point you need to notice that we have now nest the function. So the first function is the iterator itself, and then in the iterator function we have another function called filter. Filter actually used to filter the row, right? We're going to actually use this function a lot. So be mindful that you are clear what's the concept of using filtering. Obviously, once we move towards the advanced DAX. Now, so obviously, the first thing you can see is the table name. We are applying this filter function on the depth TBL reseller sale. And then, like I mentioned in the syntax, the very next thing is the condition. So in that condition, what I have done, I have used the order quantity, and I have put the condition that if the order quantity is greater than one, then only consider those rows, right? And what this function will do, it will just trim the result set, and then based on that trimmed result set, it's going to actually apply that expression that we have mentioned previously, right? So that's how. So we are just multiplying order quantity with unit price, right? So let me enter it all good because I can't see any error. And now what I'm going to do, I'm now going to bring it to the same tile to see the difference. What's the gap between the total sale and the sale with multiple items. So if I click in here, so you can see we have 73.69. By the way, I have used the same in here. So you can see we have 73.69. So it is matching because once it round, it's less than 5. So it didn't actually increase the value, right? So the values are matching. I just put that table in here with the product name. So we can see the breakdown in here, right? But now you can see anyone, we can put side by side both bars, so we can see the difference of one. We have a narrow gap, so it's not like we have large item which are only order we have large number of customer or only order one item. But if that gap is wider between these two lines, so that means we might need to look into it. So that's all about using the DAX iterator expression. Very important and very helpful in building the professional dashboards in Power BI. And now, like I mentioned, in every video we're going to actually translate back into our SQL. So we're going to take the similar thing and we're going to actually apply in our SQL, so you can translate DAX back into SQL. So let me go into my SQL. So the SQL statement will be simple because in the summing impression, what we're gonna do, we're gonna actually apply the same impression, right? So the same expression. In this case, we are multiplying the order quantity by unit price and then apply the aggregation. So SQL is smart. It's not going to actually apply the function before calculating the expression, which is really awesome in SQL side, right? So let's run it and we're gonna see the exact total. So we can see we have 80978104 which is obviously 80 I think million. Let me see, is it the same amount? Yeah, 80.98 million. And how we can check it, let me do that quickly. So I'm just going to divide 1,000, 10,000, 110,000 and million, right? So let's see what we're gonna get. So you can see exactly we are getting. So I've just converted into millions. So the amount was coming as a numerical value. So just to matching with the Power BI DAX expression, I converted it into million. Similar way, now In DAX, we have the filter, but in our SQL environment or SQL syntax, we have the where clause, right? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna actually put the where clause. Where clause is going to filter the rows, and then whatever rows we're gonna get after that filtration, SQL will apply the sum on the expression that we have added into that sum, right? So now similar thing in here, I'm just going to divide it by million so we can see the exact amount, and voila, we have 73.69, which is exactly the same amount which we are getting as part of our DAX expression. So that's how we can translate our DAX back into SQL. So hopefully in this video we cover the iterator expression which has been used in Power BI, as well as the translation of DAX into the SQL, and hopefully it will be clear and easy to understand. But feel free to post any comment or question if you have. More than happy to answer. Otherwise, like the video, and I'm going to actually see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.